Okay everyone, welcome back to another video on the channel. We're back with a Gran Turismo Sport video at Fuji, racing from the back, and we have a Gran Turismo World Champion in this lobby. Igor Fraga, one of the fastest drivers on the game, up there with the likes of TRL Lightning, is starting right behind me from the back of the grid. Now he is driving the Lamborghini, which is an incredibly fast car over one lap. However, you need to be very good with your tyre saving and tyre management to make that car work, which Igor Fraga 100% is. I myself not so good with tyre wear, so I'm driving the RCZ and just looking to do a good run, see if we can compete with him. It's going to be very difficult though. We know he's one of the fastest drivers on Gran Turismo Sport. So starting from P13, he's starting from P14 behind us. If you do enjoy this video and you like videos like these, subscribe to the channel, hit that like button, and let me know in the comment section what you thought of this race. Let's get this on. Going into turn one, warming up their medium tyres. So this race had compulsory usage of the soft and the medium tyre. I'm starting on the medium tyre. As we go into turn one, we have the Viper that goes a little bit wide there. That opens up the door for me to go up the inside, and that puts the first car in between myself and Fraga. However, Fraga is not going to wait around. You can see up the inside behind us in the mirror there. He takes that position and he's right behind us again. So we're up to P12. Fraga now in P13. As we come through here, you can see the Porsche. I think he lets us go there, lets us go up the inside, and now we're coming up to a group of very congested cars there. We're going to go up that inside line. We see the cars on the outside decide to go to the right hand side of the track. We managed to get ourselves up into P9 on the inside here, and then I did think about staying to the right hand side and going down that gap there, and decided to back out of that. It was never going to work. So into the middle of the track, and we see the car on the left taps the Corvette. That gives me the opportunity to take that position and try and hang it around the outside. If we get nudged wide, nearly pushed off the track, and luckily we managed to keep it just about on and hold on to that P8 position. So quite a fun start to that race, quite a few positions gained, and luckily you can see that the previous Gran Turismo World Champion Igor Fraga is a few cars behind us. You can see that Lamborghini trying to get round them. He's really trying to hustle his way through that pack, and this has given me a nice little bit of an advantage here because we managed to get through that traffic really quickly. You can see Fraga there in P10, just one car in between us, and then we've got a car in front of us that's got half a second penalty. That is going to be another position gain up into P7, and also a possible another car for Igor Fraga to try and get past, but he is still only a matter of 2 seconds, 1.5 seconds behind us in that group of cars. You can see he's there in P9 now, following closely through. And yeah, this is going to be an intense battle all the way to the finishing line. You can just tell as we go into turn one, trying to make sure we don't brake too late there. Very easy to do, especially on the medium tyres that doesn't quite provide that grip. And as we see, looking at the replay camera, you're just going to see Igor Fraga there in that Lamborghini, that navy blue Lamborghini, just showing the front end of that car. He's there in the distance, pushing as usual with insane speed. The guy is unbelievable on Gran Turismo Sport, so we're just trying our best to stay ahead of him. Now this track, I have to say, was quite strong for me. If you remember, we also did a video very similar to this versus Fraga when we started at the front of the grid quite a long time ago in Group 2, and Fraga managed to nearly catch us up in that one from the back. So this is going to be a lot harder. We started one place ahead of Fraga in this one, and it's all about seeing if we can hold on and stay ahead of him for as long as possible. And you can really see on this replay camera, just he's not far behind at all. He's just got one car in between us, and he is catching us up, even though we managed to get through that traffic really well. But now we've got to see if we can get through some of these cars. There's some sort of incident gone on there between P3 and 4, and that jumps us up a position. We're up to P5 now, and yeah, that was a nice little freebie. Luckily, P3 managed to stay on the track, so he's still in the battle there for the podium position. And now we're going to get the slipstream on this very long straight at Fuji. And yeah, the RCZ was surprisingly good in a slipstream. It's actually got quite good top end once you're in a slipstream 6th gear. Because it's got quite a long 6th gear, it actually worked very well when you're in a slipstream. You can see the actual top speed is quite good on this car. So yeah, following down the straight, we're not going to be able to go for a move here, are we? However, we brake where we normally do. These two on the outside just brake so early. We just went for a dive, and we managed to make a really nice move up there, putting ourselves into the podium position, into P3, only on lap 3. So another nice couple of positions gained, and that is also very important to put a few more cars between myself and Igor Fraga. So we also go over the line there with the fastest lap of the race on the medium tyres, so not doing too bad at the moment, considering we're going through traffic and battling at the moment, and still doing reasonably okay lap times. Things are looking quite positive in this race. You can see we can actually see P1 not too far in the distance, And yeah, this is going to be very interesting how this pans out with Fraga trying to get through the traffic. You can see he's still stuck in a bit of traffic there in P7 while we are in P3, and you can see in the bottom right hand corner on the replay camera the amount of cars that he's got to get past, and that little bit of traffic that is going to hold him up hopefully for a few laps. However, we know how good Fraga is at getting rid of cars in front of him. He's insanely good in traffic, so we're just going to try and keep it smooth, stay on the track, and make sure we don't make too many mistakes as we come through here. I could have gone for a move up the inside of the Peugeot here, but I decided to just go wide and we'll play it safe and get the slipstream. However, as we come through here, we take a nice entry into the corner. He goes wide, he gets on the curb, loses control, and ends up punting us off the track. Not deliberate, he actually just lost control of the car. However, that is going to lose me a vital bit of time. However, the legend that is behind us there in that Viper decides to bump draft us, probably knows that it's best if he just uses our slipstream to help him out. And yeah, that gives me a nice bit of boost, and we might actually be able to get back past P2. So even though we did lose initially probably about 1.5 to 2 seconds there, maybe 1.5, we've probably only lost half a second as we managed to get past that RCZ anyway because of that absolute legend driving that Viper. If you're in the comment section, thank you so much for that little bit of a bump draft there. You helped me out massively. But yeah, we probably still lost about half a second maybe at most. It was maybe around there because we still lost momentum out of that corner, and we would have already been past him anyway. So fast forward in the action on lap 4. We're going to get to the end of lap 4 as you can pit at the end on the end of lap 4. However, I decided we're going to do 5 laps because the Peugeot still, it's good on tyres. The best way to do this race, the fastest way I think was a 6-6 divide. Like I say, the 5-7 divide was pretty solid in cars like the Peugeot. However, cars like the Lamborghini, we're always going to have to do a 6-6 divide because they're not very good on tyres. And we can see already that Fraga has managed to get himself right behind us already. That just shows you how fast he is and how he got through that traffic. Obviously, that little incident did slow us down a little bit. And yeah, we've got a 1.3 second gap to Fraga, who's also on the medium tyres and fighting his way through the traffic. Let's see how this is going to pan out. Now, I wasn't sure if Fraga was going to try and do the 7 laps on the soft tyres or whether he was going to do a 6-6 divide in that Lamborghini, because Fraga is very good at driving with worn tyres and looking after them tyres, a bit like TRL Lightning. Very smooth drivers. If you ever watch them, incredibly smooth drivers. They drive insanely. It's almost hypnotic the way they drive because they're incredibly smooth. But yeah, so that also leads to very good tyre saving. Myself, I'm a little bit more aggressive, quite happy to get on that throttle and just push the car as hard as I can, as you can see what we're doing now as we come into the end of lap 5. And we've managed to keep this lap actually quite static to Fraga. Obviously that tyre wear on the Lamborghini is starting to have a little bit of an effect on his overall pace. The RCZ obviously a little bit better. Maybe we could have stayed out this extra lap, but I thought, you know what, let's get in that pits and let's try and get a bit of an undercut on Fraga, who's going to be driving that Lamborghini, because I was quite convinced he would probably wait until lap 6. So I thought if we pit now, we might be able to get ourselves like a 2.5 to 3 second advantage, which might be able to help us, you know, finish just ahead of him. So into the pits this lap, straight in, no need to break in the pit entry on GT Sport. Like we said in previous videos, at Fuji it's completely flat out and you don't get any sort of penalty unless you whack the wall too hard. So out the pits, and luckily we come out in total clean air. This is ideal now. So what we've got to do is try and do quite a solid outlap. So we'll fast forward this outlap as we're trying to hit the apexes. Now this outlap wasn't actually the best outlap I'd ever done, I have to say. It was smoothish. It was, you know, it was fairly okay, but it could have been about 3-4 attempts quicker. But it's still going to get an undercut over worn mediums on that Lamborghini. So as we come to the straight, the top 2, Lead and Fraga, are now in the pits, and they're both going in off medium tyres as well. So we're going to have 2 cars coming out the pits, one in front of us, one behind us, both on soft tyres, both with 1 lap fresher tyres. You can see P1 is there with them fresher tyres in the Corvette. He's going to have an advantage on grip in terms of traction and the tyres and the tyre life. And we've got Fraga behind us in the Lamborghini, who's also going to have the advantage on tyre life. However, I was hopeful that them tyres would fade. However, with Fraga's, like I say, tyre saving, it's going to be very, very difficult. You see, we did manage to get that gap up to 2.3 seconds. And now we've just got to try and drive very solid, smooth, and see if we can catch up to P1. This is going to be a very interesting end to the race. We've got 5 laps to go. And yeah, well, 6 laps to go now, 5.5 laps, something like that. And we're catching up to P1, and you can see Fraga there is starting to take out tenths of us on the corner. So looking at this view, you can see just how close this battle is. P1, P2, and then Fraga there coming through in the Lamborghini. This is going to be an intense end to this race, and a really enjoyable race, I have to say. This week of racing was absolutely brilliant. We've also got another race from the EU region from this combination when we started towards the front to upload and share, because that was also an incredibly intense race. So yeah, I'm excited to upload that. So make sure you subscribe if you want to see more races like this on the channel. Get that subscription in, hit the like button, and let me know in them comments how you thought this race was and how you enjoyed this week. So yeah, catching up to P1, you can see that the gap tantalizingly close to the slipstream. You can see that we only need about another tenth or two and we would have that draft down the straight. Unfortunately, we haven't got it, and you can see Fraga has got that gap under 2 seconds now. He is really pushing there in the Lamborghini. The lap time then, 37.1, is nothing that special, to be honest. We had done a 36.6 and stuff like that on our first lap on the tyre, so it could have been 3-4 attempts quicker there. But, you know, we're under pressure from Fraga. We're just trying to make sure we don't make any two mistakes. We are in the better position, kind of, at the moment, although Fraga has got them fresher tyres. The car in front's got fresher tyres. But it does look like we are gaining. On the straights, obviously, we're going to lose out to the Corvette. But through the corners, the RCs are definitely slightly faster than the Corvette in front of us. You can see we're gaining on every single corner, and in the traction zones we seem to be able to carry a bit more speed into the apex, and then on the throttle gaining another tenth there on P1, and Fraga taking another 2 tenths out of us through that little section there. This is going to be a very, very intense end to this race, but we're on an okay lap. You can see we're actually going through this sector purple, so slightly faster than the previous lap when we had fresher tyres. Hitting that apex actually really nice there. Onto the throttle, into second gear, smooth through that section, which is always fast. Smooth in this final section is so important. It's all about just getting the smooth apexes, keeping it nice and smooth, not putting too much steering input in, letting the car just coast into the corners. It will really gain you time at Fuji in this final sector, and we actually did that very nice. And we might be able to get the slipstream, so we take a very narrow line into that final corner, because what that does, it affects your exit. However, it gives you the chance to get in the slipstream, and then that exit speed is kind of eliminated because you've got the slipstream to the car in front. You can see we've managed to pick that slipstream up of the Corvette, and that is going to give us a little bit of a boost down the straight now to pull a bit away from Fraga. So yeah, we're gaining a little bit now on Fraga and gaining on the P1 in this race. So what an exciting end to this race. We're on lap 9. Can we manage to get that Corvette on this lap? It's going to be very interesting if we can catch him up. So yeah, let's have a little look at the replay camera and just show you just how close this race is. Milliseconds between myself and the leader there, just a couple of attempts, and then you look behind that and Fraga getting very close, scarily close to that slipstream. He's just working away at that gap. He's bringing that gap down, 10th every section here and there, and he's really pushing. You can see the way the Lamborghini came through that corner. He is not taking it easy. He's giving that Lamborghini all it's got there, and probably still trying to look after the tyres, kind of, but with only 6 laps to go on them tyres, he's probably able to push a little bit more than if he had pitted on lap 5. So now into the braking zone, getting very close to that Corvette again, but just not able to go for a move there. You could see, again, we just had to just follow him through this section, and I decided it's probably the best way to do it. Just follow him through here, and then on the main straight, see if we can go for a move and get past him in the, obviously, the heavy braking zone, and use that slipstream to try and pass him. So again, trying to keep it nice and smooth through this section, not taking any risks. We're not going to go for a dive up the inside. We see kind of faked it there just to try and put him off a bit on the entry into this corner so he doesn't get his good exit. And yeah, we're picking up that slipstream now and going to see if we can go for a move on this straight. So working our way down the straight, P1 trying to break that slipstream. You can see doing a bit of weaving to try and break the toe. And now we've got that slipstream into 6th gear. This is where the RCZ is actually quite strong. You can see into 6th gear, picking up that slipstream, and we're going to go for a move into the braking zone. Let's see if we can do this. Heavy on the brakes. Can we slow the car down into turn 1? We take the lead of this race at Fuji starting from the back of the grid, and yeah, we're up into P1. So this is going to be intense now. Can we hold on to this position from a Corvette with better tyres than us, and also Igor Fraga driving the Lamborghini, which is a very difficult car to drive. I have to point this out. It is extremely difficult, but it was fast here. There's no doubt in it. Had a lot of pace, but it was very difficult to drive in race conditions. So can we hold on? This is going to be really interesting. Through that left-hander, on the throttle as early as we can, and just trying to build up a bit of a gap so that we can try and push in that final sector to break the slipstream. And what we need to make sure now is we need to try and kind of help P2 a bit with slipstream there, just so that Fraga finds it hard to go for a move. You can see that Fraga almost touching the bumper of that Corvette. So 3 cars looking in the bottom right corner, the little replay camera, you can see all 3 of us as P2 has a bit of a moment there, very close, all within about 0.7 of a second. This is going to be an insane end to this race. Can we hold on to P1 though? It's going to be extremely difficult, but we're going to try our best, keeping it nice and smooth through this section again. And you can see we've actually broke the slipstream there. That is pretty ideal for myself. And now we're going to get onto that straight, power out of the corner and work our way into turn 1. We can see that the Corvette is gaining on us there. However, he's not got the slipstream at this stage, which is going to probably make Fraga's life a little bit easier in terms of getting that moved on. So yeah, this is going to be interesting. You can see the Corvette has managed to pick up the slipstream now. So we're going to go to the left to give him that slipstream, because we'd rather give that Corvette the slipstream than Fraga, obviously, to try and keep Fraga behind us. However, in the braking zone, you can see the Corvette behind us brakes too late, and that has give Fraga the position. And now we've got 2 laps to go at trying to hold off a Gran Turismo world champion. This is not going to be easy. You can see that he's through the corners. That Lamborghini is absolutely flying, even with the tyre wear that he's probably dealing with. Although, like I say, he has got 1 lap fresher. But yeah, the Lamborghini's nowhere near as good on tyres as the RCZ. But yeah, in terms of condition, we're probably in a pretty similar kind of condition of race pace if you had 2 equal drivers. But that is Igor Fraga, one of the world's fastest drivers on Gran Turismo. So we're going to try and do our best, try and hold on to this position, try and keep the car smooth into the braking zone. So try and make sure we hit the apexes. As Fraga makes a little bit of a mistake there, he goes in a little bit deep, maybe with the slipstream catching him out, and we keep it nice and smooth through there, keeping that gap around 0.5 a second. We need to try and keep that gap over 0.5 a second really, because if he's within 4 attempts of us, that Lamborghini is incredibly fast on the straights and will just fly past us with a slipstream. So again, through this sector, trying to keep it smooth, using all the track we can. We can see Fraga behind us there, using a little bit of extra track there as he's really pushing. And then through this final corner, we get a bit of a drift going, and that really just stops that acceleration on the straight. And that was really frustrating, because you can see just how much that has gained the Lamborghini now in the slipstream. So that little error on the final corner, getting on the power a bit too early and drifting. And now you can see just how fast that Lamborghini is. There's not much we can do about this now. You can see that with the slipstream assistance, the Lamborghini's just gone past us, and there's no way we can return that. So we try and brake as late as we can, but we can't brake any later than that. And we nearly lose control of the car on the exit as the rear tyres are starting to fade now, and Fraga manages to get himself into P1. But that is why Igor Fraga is a previous world champion on Gran Turismo, one of the fastest drivers on the game, and he's shown it right there. Kept it cool, just did us on the straight, and yeah, not much effort for him there. But we're going to try and fight this as much as we can, but the tyres are screaming out. They are struggling for grip here into the apex, trying to push like crazy just to see if we can get back into the slipstream, and unfortunately it's just not possible. Our tyres have faded too much. I think we took too much life out of them trying to push to try and overtake that Corvette early on. I wanted to get that car in between me and Fraga. Maybe we should have looked after the tyres a little bit more. However, obviously the natural instinct is to try and get that car, overtake him, and put a bit of a gap between yourself and Fraga. And this time it's not worked out, but I think we've done a really good job in this race, managing to stay that close to Fraga in front of us there, driving a quite solid race. And what an enjoyable race all the way to the finishing line. I hope you lot enjoyed this race. I really thoroughly enjoyed this week of racing at Fuji, and like I say, we have got another race to upload in the EU region with some against some incredibly fast EU World Tour drivers. So that is going to be another interesting video. So if you do want to see that, do make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit that like button, and again, let me know in the comments what you thought of this race. We go over the line for P2 and a pretty solid race, a thoroughly enjoyable race, and yeah, I really hope you lot enjoyed that. So yeah, I will see you all soon for more videos, more live streams. Take care everyone, and yeah, hit that like button, people.